develops, the tongue, desires for its own tastes. So we have to practically train, develop a sense that, the tongue should be fed with prasadam, or any food that we eat before we take should be, we should remember Lord and then we have to take. In that way, we have to develop a kind of sense. Then, whatever you take, whatever you taste, that will help you to, develop your consciousness. Here in this purport, Srila Prabhupada said, referred a great pastime of, birth of Kartikeya. How many of you know how Kartikeya took birth? Does anybody know the story of Kartikeya? Okay, Pooja Kataria Mataji. Anybody else? Okay. Yes, Pooja Mataji, please go ahead. Could you please tell us the pastime of Kartikeya's birth? You can unmute and you can narrate the pastime of Kartikeya's birth. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you hear us?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So,
I'm connecting my Bluetooth.
oh, okay.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Ma Parvati wanted a son at that time. Her motherly emotions were going very high. So she wanted a son. And at that time, Lord Shiva agreed, okay, we will have.
Mhm.
Then at that time, like Lord Shiva and Ma Parvati were uh, engaging, and at that time Nandiji was stopping Ravana outside,
Mhm.
but inside Lord Shiva and Ma Parvati had this Urja ball. It looked like egg yolk. Okay, Urja ball was forming when Ma Parvati and Lord Shiva was engaged in the activity.
Okay.
Lord Indra definitely did not wanted a son to be born at that time because he was threatened that his throne will be taken over, and he planned so that the child should not be conceived. In the middle, Lord Indra came and did some mischief. That's why that Urja ball went from that particular place to outside. And at that time, when that Urja ball was coming down, uh, Ma Ganga tried to conceive that child, but Ma Ganga could not conceive that child because that Urja ball was very very warm and fiery. Then Ma Dharti wanted to conceive, she cannot conceive. Then it went to grass, green grass. Green grass could not do it. Then that Urja ball went to Kartikeya Loka, where there are 6 Kartikeya stars. Those are female stars. And that Urja ball transformed into 6 Urja balls. And then 6 kids were born out of that Urja ball. And Kartikeya Mata's stars were there. Those Matas tried to be they were mother to Kartikeya, but Kartikeya was like uh, Kartikeya, Ma Kartikeya are my mothers. When he found out that Ma Parvati is his real mother, he could not uh, believe, and he was like emotionally he was devastated. But later on, when Kartikeya Matas let Kartikeya go to Ma Parvati, his emotions were still high. Like he was not accepting Ma Parvati. Still, Ma Parvati, with all the love and nourishing, she loved Kartikeya, and Kartikeya emotions were still high. And Lord Indra still played his game. Then Lord Kartikeya had to kill some asura at that time. So Ma Parvati trained him to kill that Asura, and she was the first guru in the Shastra Vidya for Lord Kartikeya. Still, Lord Kartikeya, after killing the demon, he was not accepted in the Indra Loka. Lord Indra disrespected Lord Kartikeya, and then Lord Kartikeya from there he came to south. So yeah, till here I think it's Hare Krishna.
Thank you for sharing the story, Mataji. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Hari Bol. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas.
So here in the purport, it is said that even for Lord Shiva, it was he was also under the control of this. For some time, he was also under the control of this lust. However, there was some divine plan. There was one demon called Tarakasur. Okay, so this Tarakasur, he did severe penance, and when Brahma appeared, he asked for a boon that he can be killed only by the son of Lord Shiva and Parvati. Again, Brahma, granted that boon, and this Tarakusura, the reason why he asked the boon is that Tarakasura know that Shiva, Lord Shiva, Mahadev is a ascetic personality mendicant. If he goes into meditation, he will not have sense of the material world. Okay, so Mahadev is as good as Lord Vishnu, and it is confirmed by Lord Vishnu himself in the Bhagavatam. Okay, so when Mother Sati was, Mother Sati left her body when Daksha Yajna was devastated. That time, there was a havoc between Devadas, and there was some misunderstanding between the personalities, Lord Vishnu and Shiva. Then Lord Vishnu appeared, and he himself gave a statement that Lord Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, they take different forms to perform different activities. But we should not see differences like that. Lord Shiva explained in Bhagavatam itself. So it means that in Lord Shiva is as good as Lord Vishnu himself. So for a divine purpose to kill Tarakasura, okay, so there was a plan that was created where Lord Shiva should mate with the mother Parvati so that the son will be taking birth. Okay. However, that point of time, what happened? Devatas, they approached the goddess of Cupid, Manmada, and they asked him to shoot the arrows towards Lord Shiva so that he get agitation, and he goes to mate with the Mother Parvati. However, when Manmad tried to do that, that time Parvati was passing through where Lord Shiva was meditating, and he could feel some different feelings within him. And Lord Shiva immediately understood that somebody is doing something to him. Then he looked at left side, and there he found Manmad, and he immediately made Manmad into ashes by opening his third eye. And that was first attempt where Devadas tried to. First of all, Devadas, they were not interested to. They were not agreed, that a child should be born between Parvati and Shiva, because Mahadev is one of the supreme personality. Okay, they thought that if and if for to that personality, if a son, takes birth, then he may rule entire world like that. They, they disturbed Mother Parvati and Shiva when there was some attempt that they tried to they tried to just give me one quick moment. Sorry, sorry for the inconvenience. So first attempt, Devatas, they disturbed that time, Parvati, she cursed all Devatas that, they will also will not have any children. That's the reason, from that time to this time, there are only 30 crore Devatas. The Devata population never increases. Okay. And second time, uh, you know, uh, uh, they created a situation wherein, uh, the Kartikeya should take birth because they were being harassed by Tarakasur. And that time they created such a situation that Parvati Devi, they got her in front of Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva looking at her, from his body the semen gets releases, and this semen, first it is so powerful that Devatas request Agnidev to take that semen so that the child will get birth, but he could not control that. Then what he will do, he will deposit the semen into the mother Ganga, and she also could not bear that, and she releases that semen, where there are six kritikas are found. Okay. And these kritikas, there will be a place in Himalayas where they find. So there she releases that, and from that place, Kartikeya takes birth. And first of all, he will be taken care of by the six kritikas. That's the reason he is called as Kartikeya. And he takes birth with the six faces, Shanmukha. Okay. So this pastime says that even the great personalities, they also sometimes, with the divine providence, they also undergo the common, how the human beings, they undergo the lusty desires. However, we should not misunderstand the pastime of great personalities, that they also have undergone this kind of things like that. Okay, for a divine purpose, they undergo that. To carry out a divine purpose, to kill a demon, there was supposed to be there was a need of a great warrior, and that warrior was Kartikeya. For that purpose, Lord Shiva had to do that. Okay, so we have to understand that. And there is one another mm, reference given in the purport about Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur. So how many of you know about this personality, Haridas Thakur? Anybody heard of okay, Srinivasa Sima Thakur Mataji? Nice. Okay. Wonderful. So this Haridas Thakur was a great Vaishnava, okay, in our parampara. We call him as Namacharya. So this personality was basically, he was a Muhammadian. He was a Muslim. He was born under Islam religion. Okay. However, he had a great taste towards the holy names of Lord. Okay, so every day he used to chant 192 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Can you imagine how many hours it will take to chant 192 rounds? For doing 16 rounds, it will take minimum 2 hours. And if you calculate 16 rounds, 2 hours means 160 rounds, it will take 20 hours. Only for 160 rounds, it will take 20 hours. And remaining 30, and he used to chant 92 rounds. That means his entire 24 hours used to be spent in chanting the holy names of Lord only. So, because he was in Islam, the Islam kings, they did not like him chanting the holy names, taking the spiritual path of Sanatan Dharma. So they tried to beat him, they tried to harass him, but he never left chanting. However, one day, what they thought was, they thought of seducing him by sending a woman, a prostitute. And this prostitute, she went to Haridas Thakur where he was sitting, And she went to Haridas Thakur, and Haridas Thakur inquired what was the reason for her to come to Haridas Thakur. And then she told that, she wanted to, spend time with Haridas Thakur. She wanted to give sensual pleasure, sexual pleasure to Haridas Thakur. And then Haridas Thakur, what he said is, okay, I'm ready to, I'm ready for your proposal. However, let me complete my chanting notes. After I finish my chanting notes, then I will accept, we will involve in that activity, he said. Okay. And Haridas Thakur went on chanting. One day passed, second day passed, and this woman, she repeatedly came, and then Haridas Thakur again and again, he was telling, I didn't finish my chanting rounds at all. Okay, now here, even though lust is coming with a huge force and hitting a devotee, but the devotee, he taken shelter of holy names, he was able to defend the lust. So for a devotee, the biggest weapon to defend the lust is holy name. When our taste is deposited in the holy name, we don't find taste in other enjoyments. I mean, we go through them as a duty minded, but we don't go through them as an attachment minded. So Haridas Thakur, having great taste of holy name, he was able to defend the lust. Okay, and this woman prostitute, she, she keep on going and proposing to Sri Haridas Thakur. And one day she inquired with Haridas Thakur, see, I'm a woman, I'm a prostitute, I'm ready to give myself to you, but you're still chanting the holy names of the Lord. So do you think that that is more tastier than me? Like that, she started conversing with him. Then Haridas Thakur said, no, why don't you try and understand? Like that, he said. Then this woman thought, let me also try what kind of enjoyment he is getting by chanting the holy names. And she took Japamala and she started chanting. And eventually she developed taste towards the holy name, and she shaved her head, and she also became a mendicant. She became a disciple of Namacharya Haridas Thakur. She became a great Vaishnavi. So there are two things. One, uh, at getting attached to material things, we will fall down. We have to undergo lust, and we will fall down. And getting attachment to the holy name, okay, that will elevate us to establish high relationship with God. So attachment to material things will help us to fall down. Attachment to spiritual things will help us to, elevate. So that's the reason when we are choosing to develop our interest, okay, on certain things, we have to be very choosy. We have to have enough knowledge whether that will help us or not, okay, in our spiritual life. Okay, then only we have to choose that particular option to go through. And at any point of time for a devotee, the biggest thing that will help them is holy name. If you have good taste towards the holy name, then you will not develop lusty desires, or we will not have that material desires towards other things which are not helpful to grow in spiritual life. Okay, and when the lust is developed within us, okay, so when the interest develops, when dhyato vishyan, the material things. When your concentration, when your interest goes into some material things, then lust is developed. And now let's understand, what will happen when lust is developed. Okay, so how the lust will turn into um what is the next version of lust, we will try to understand in the next sloka. Okay. Okay. So anybody wants to try reading the sloka?
Can I try, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please go ahead, Mother.
Bhagavad Gita 2.63 Krodhat bhavati sammoha sammohat smriti vibhramaha smriti bhrimshad buddhinasho buddhinashat pranashyati.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Anybody else wants to try?
Prabhu, I will try.
Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu.
क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Anybody else?
I will try, Prabhu.
Please go ahead.
Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhramaha, smriti bhramsat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. So I request anybody to read the translation.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion,
Bewilderment.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji, read.
From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into material pool.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay. So the purport, I'll read the sloka and then I request anybody to read the purport. So Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami is one of the acharyas in our parampara. There are 6 important, prominent acharyas in our parampara. And amongst them, the first acharya comes is Srila Rupa Goswami. Okay. So what he says, he wrote a book called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, first canto, second chapter, 258 sloka, it is said, Prapanchika ataya buddhya harisambandhi vastunaha mumukshubi parityago vairagyam bhalgu katyate. So that's what he says. So I request anybody to read the purport. Yeah, please go ahead, Uma Mataji.
By the development of Krishna consciousness, one can know that everything has its use in the service of the Lord. Those who are without knowledge of Krishna consciousness artificially try to avoid material objects, and as a result, although they desire liberation from material bondage, they do not attain to the perfect stage of renunciation. The so-called renunciation is called Halgu or less important. On the other hand, a person in Krishna consciousness knows how to use everything in the service of Lord. Therefore, he does not become a victim of material consciousness. For example, for an impersonalist, the Lord or the Absolute, being impersonal, cannot be. Whereas the impersonalist tries to avoid good eatables, the devotee knows that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer and that he eats all that is offered to him in devotion. So after offering good eatables to the Lord, the devotee takes the remnants called prasadam. Thus everything becomes spiritualized and there is no danger of a downfall. The devotee takes prasadam in Krishna consciousness, whereas the non-devotee rejects it as a material. The impersonalist therefore cannot enjoy life due to his artificial renunciation, and for this reason a slight agitation of the mind pulls him down again into the pool of material existence. It is said that such a soul, even though rising up to the point of liberation, falls down again due to his not having support in devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Thank you for reading. Okay. So, Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammoha smriti vibhrama, smriti bhramshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. Okay. So, Krishna is telling us what will happen when one develop lust? So where is the lust coming from? The lust is coming from a constant attachment towards some vishayas, I mean the material things. Okay, from that the desire, lusty desire. I mean, I want this at any cost of at any point of time. I want this. Okay, I don't mind whatever happens. I want this. So that, without any proper uh, whether we deserve or not, without any understanding of whether I deserve to have that or not, we desire it. Okay, and from that lust, when lust is not fulfilled, then the anger develops. For example, we were talking about a teenager who had interest in one teenage girl. He had very much interest, okay, and he developed that interest turned into lust that he want to enjoy the girl, and he proposed. If she rejects his proposal, then immediately the anger develops because his lust was not fulfilled over there. This girl, when she rejected his proposal, he immediately falls into anger. And anger is one such danger thing that, it will choke up our mind. It will not allow us to think or discriminate what is good or what is bad, what is going to happen if I perform so and so, such and such activity. Without any discrimination, it immediately, it immediately reacts on the other person. And then this boy, when this girl rejected his proposal, he fell into anger and he immediately started beating, harassing. These days we can see, how these teenagers, when, teenage girls, how these teenage boys, when their proposal is rejected by teenage girls, they fall into a severe anger that they don't even care to take away their life. Okay, so they may throw acid, they may kill them, in a public places. There are many instances. How come these instances are happening? Okay, the reason is, so these teenage boys, they do not care to take up Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness teaches one, uh, reminds one what are their duties, what are their responsibilities to perform. When they don't have such knowledge, when they leave their mind, just like that, okay, then it chooses its own enjoyment, and from that enjoyment, it develops, the lust develops, and from that lust, when that lust is not fulfilled, anger develops. When anger comes in place, they will not have a discrimination in their mind what to need to be done, what is the right way. The smriti vibramsha will happen. Smriti means knowledge. Okay, so knowledge of what is good, what is bad, that is called smriti. Smriti means scriptures. Smriti means knowledge of what is good and what is bad. So they will lose that ability of discriminating the things. Okay, and they act as per their free will. So that will go to any extent. So that's the reason, Prabhupada is again and again insisting us about the urgency of Krishna consciousness. So these days, it is not that, I mean, we were discussing about a very higher level, a very, like danger level. However, it happens in a very low level also. So in our personal relationships also, when we deal with our, family members or maybe friends or maybe anybody at our office or whatever it may be. So we always try to think one-sided, okay? That, everything should happen according to my will only. When this kind of interest or lust comes in place, then if that is not fulfilled, then we get agitated, and we act according to our free will, and that may uh, you know that completely changes the situations, that completely um, puts us in any kind of problems. However, to get rid of that, it's very, very important to take Krishna consciousness. So when you have interest towards the Lord, okay, Lord is called as Rishikesha. He is the controller of our senses. So we will get that power to control our senses. And here in these two slokas, it is said that way how the situations will change based on our interest, lust, and krodha. However, there may be a question that should we have to completely leave anger? And if we leave when we are in material world, okay, if we completely leave as a mendicant without, expressing without expressing anger on anybody, then people will take advantage of our situation. They may cheat us, they may loot us, they may disturb us, understanding our behavior. However, anger is important as well. Where, to what level it is important is required. Because see, Arjuna is in a battlefield and Krishna is teaching him not to get into anger. No, see, Arjuna, without getting anger, do you think that, he will be able to contract the Duryodhana's team? He cannot have, my dear Duryodhana, you're making a lot of noise, I'll kill you. With a laughing face, he cannot kill Duryodhana, right? He has to show, he has to express the anger, and then only, he will get that mood to counter the Duryodhana's party. Then why Krishna is telling Arjuna not to get into, not to fall into anger. Can anybody answer? Can anybody give or input their comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes,
In,
Mambapa.
in anger, we cannot think properly, and
Okay.
so we have to be stable in our mind so
Yeah,
that we can think properly
right.
and take appropriate action at the moment.
Right. Wonderful, Mataji. Wonderfully told. But my question is, Krishna asking Arjuna to fight. However, to fight, one needs that mood of anger, right?
Yes.
Okay, without having anger, how can he fight? It's not possible, right? He just by laughing, he cannot kill anybody, right? It's not
That
possible. So,
that competition motive should be there, but
mhm,
but it should not be shown in the face.
mhm.
It should not be expressed, but we have to take the revenge at the same time.
Thank you, Mataji. Good input. Yes, Shivam Prabhu, please share your comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Uh, so, Prabhuji, when we are in anger, we will think of, taking it like a revenge,
Mhm.
and we will not think of a higher dharma in that, probably.
Right.
So, Lord Krishna guided Arjuna
Mhm.
to do this war for the highest dharma and not
Okay.
for the revenge.
Okay.
So that's how he mentioned not to use anger in the revenge per se.
Okay. Fine. Thank you. Good input, Prabhu. Thank you. Yes, Puja Mataji, your comments, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
As Arjuna is a God's child, he was a special child for Krishna.
Mhm.
And he is like so close to Krishna that he's standing with Krishna. He is like asking questions. Sometimes he also give his opinion. After knowing that that is Krishna is standing in front of him, that he is like Lord Jagannath. All the God's children have a special emotion called Their hearts will not get angry very easily. It will only get angry when in the situation when someone is touching my japamala when I don't want them to touch my japamala. And if they touch my japamala, it's like, don't touch my privacy area. How dare you touch my japamala? I can be very angry at that. But after that, I will not be angry on that person. I'll just forget. That's what Arjuna also did. They disrespected his wife. They want to kill his brother. They did all the things. They want to kill him also. At the moment, he was angry. But as a God's child, he just forgot after later that I cannot kill my family, or I can't do this or that. But other human beings, if you ask, they just want, like, I want my hug. I want my hug. They will say. So all the God's children, whoever right now, they are also there. As you also, Prabhuji, your heart is not capable of being angry all the time, and your heart is not capable of taking revenge. Revenge is not for God's children. That is what happening with Arjuna. That's what I see, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad pranam.
Thank you all for giving your good comments. Okay. So there are two things Krishna, one thing Krishna want to remind, and one thing Krishna want to suggest Arjuna. Okay, I'll tell you. Krishna says in the same second chapter in the earlier slokas that Swadharmamapi chaveksha navikam pitumarhasi dharmad yudhyaksheyonyat kshatriyasya na vidyate yadrichaya chopapannam swargadvaram bhavatam sukina kshatriya parta labante yudhamidrisham. So Krishna, in earlier slokas, he reminded Arjuna that, my dear Arjuna, being a Kshatriya, you please learn that doing war, is Swadharma of a Kshatriya. And a Kshatriya, and this war is not a scheduled war. It was unscheduled. I mean, after many, compromises, many soft talks, when many soft talks couldn't work, then the war had to take place. Okay, so that's when Krishna says, "Yadrichya chopapanam swargadvaram pavatam shit." So he says, for a kshatriya, if he leaves his body, okay, in the war field, in the battlefield, then he attains the swarga, the heavenly planet. Okay, that is one thing he reminded that for that purpose, because Arjuna in the beginning, Arjuna said that, my dear Krishna, by killing these, killing our family members, we might have to go to hell. Okay. To clarify that, Krishna already told that by doing war, by leaving your body, whether you win or whether you lose, doesn't matter. By doing war, that is the gateway for a Kshatriya to enter into heavenly planet. That is one thing. And second thing, Krishna absolutely doesn't want Arjuna to get into Krodha. However, Krishna wants Arjuna to act Krodha. Okay, getting into dwelling in Krodha is one thing. Acting Krodha is one thing. Acting Krodha means, if you see a movie, in that movie you will see a hero who is fighting with a villain ferociously. You will see that hero might kill the villain. Such angry he portrays. However, when off the screen, if you see the villain and the hero, they sit side by side, they will have, casual talks. Where is that anger went away? Because this is a divine plan where we have to sometimes to, to sort the situation. To make the situation better, sometimes we have to act. We have to adopt certain feelings. Otherwise, the situations will not be sorted. However, after you adopt, you should not dwell in that. You should not live with that adoption. Adopt, live. You should be in that mood as long as the situation becomes settled. As long as the situation is fixed, you have to undergo that feeling. Once it is done, leave it off. That is the reason, Pandavas, Dharmaraj, Yudhishthir Maharaj, he never had any anger on Duryodhana's Kauravas. After the entire war is done, Yudhishthir Maharaj, he did not sit on the throne, the supreme throne. He never called, he never accepted that he is emperor. He voluntarily told that as long as my, elder father, Dhritarashtra Maharaj is there, he will be sitting in the throne. Duryodhana never allowed his father to sit, but the Dharmara, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he respected, he honored Dhritarashtra as the emperor of the kingdom. That he could do because he never carried that, krodha, that anger within him. He only acted for time being to fix the situation. That's what we need to understand. Krodha, leave of Krodha doesn't mean that, in your lifetime, you never become anger. You might have to become anger certain times to fix the situation. After the situation is fixed, come out of that Krodha. If possible, you may have to, convince, or you may have to, apologize also. You have to be in such level that you have to show anger. At the same time, you have to be in a place where you can excuse. You should also carry a mode of excusing also. So you have to have that knowledge of where to show anger, how to fix the situation, and how to excuse also. So that's what Krishna wants Arjuna to learn, and Krishna wants all of us to learn. Because, dealing with this material people or material things is not so easy. Sometimes we may have to undergo, the material characteristics, but that should not, deviate us from our spiritual path. We have to be very, very careful, okay, when we are dealing with the material situations or material people. Okay, so you can act, okay, but you cannot dwell in that. Dwelling will make you attached. That will bind you, and that will eventually become into prarabdha karma. And that will further eventually will take you to get entrapped in life and death cycle again, and repeated life and death cycle again and again. So that's the reason when we are choosing things, we have to be careful. We have to train before we choose something, we have to have certain consciousness that, whether this will help us, help me to, grow in my spiritual life or not. That discrimination, that intelligence you should have. That intelligence will, you will be able to acquire that intelligence by constantly reading, chanting, and, having association with devotees. So, and when you develop that intelligence, then you will have the power of discrimination. And when you have power of discrimination, then, the smriti you will be able to memorize, and the smriti will, every now and then, the knowledge will help you, will teach you what to choose. And if you don't do all this, association, chanting, reading, and, learning the spiritual scriptures, then you will not get the intelligence. See, when Prabhupada was there, so when he had to deal with the foreigners, he underwent lot of harassments, and he even expressed his anger, but at the same time, he also shared that loving feelings towards their devotees. So one day what happened, there was a situation like in one of the place, they um, built a new temple. Okay. And, all of them were very new. Like, those days, the senior most disciple means 1 year old in Krishna consciousness. So that was the age of the, disciples in Krishna consciousness. So everybody was new, they were unaware of, the proper way how to conduct things, how to, install deities, how to inaugurate a temple and all those stuff. Okay. And so somehow, the temple president, who struggled to build the temple, that day was also his sannyas initiation day. So he was supposed to take sannyas initiation from Prabhupada. At the same time, Prabhupada, at the same time, the temple should also be inaugurated. Okay, in that way they planned. And while coming, when Prabhupada landed and they could not arrange a proper vehicle to Prabhupada, that broke down and it was getting late, and they arranged another, vehicle. Okay, and Prabhupada had to come. And once the Prabhupada came, then when he entered in temple, everybody was like, roaming here and there. There was no proper organized things going on. And, the deities were still, left outside only. They were not taken to the altar. And, they did not cover the deities with cloth, and the flowers were not decorated. And the altar was too small, where the deities cannot be, taken into the altar and installed. But somehow, these people, they were trying to, take the deities into the altar. And when they were taking, the head was hitting the altar. And Prabhupada was shouting on them, no, that's not the way, that's not the proper way you handle the deities. Deities are nothing but, Lord himself, like the Prabhupada was instructing. But people, because of a lot of noise, because of heavy crowd, nobody was listening. And somehow they made deities to fit into the altar, and they performed the sorry, installation. And after that, after the installation, the feast will happen, right? And they did not prepare proper feast. They were not aware that, this much crowd will have come for installation, and there was no enough prasadam. And Prabhupada, they thought that Prabhupada will have breakfast and come. But, since it was an installation, those who do installation, they have to fast until the installation is done. And Prabhupada did not have breakfast, and he had to fast until afternoon. And after the installation is done, after the installation is done, till the time he did not take anything. After that also, he had to fast because there was no proper enough prasadam. Then Prabhupada even became frustrated. And its temple president, he was getting panicked that things are not organized in a well manner and things are going wrong. And he's scared to face Prabhupada because everything was going on in an unorganized way. And they somehow made some prasadam, and they brought. However, by the time and the installation happened, the initiation of this temple president also took place, and they brought some prasadam, Rajbhog prasadam. But Prabhupada was not supposed to eat some foods. They brought that foods which Prabhupada was not supposed to eat. So somehow Prabhupada could not eat that. He left to his room where his accommodation was planned. And there he thought that they will arrange some prasadam. And there also they did not arrange anything. And then Prabhupada immediately asked the devotees who are accompanying him to arrange some prasadam because he is fasting since morning. And this devotee, he ran to the temple, and somehow he managed to pack some prasadam in a car, and in a rush he was heading towards the Prabhupada's accommodation. In that rush, the entire prasadam fell down in the car. Now this devotee went to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada he could not imagine how Prabhupada will react. And he went to Prabhupada and he told to Prabhupada, he faced Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada asked, what happened? Then this devotee answered, Prabhupada, I was, very eager to bring prasadam to you. However, in a rush, the Prabhupada's, the prasadam totally fell in the car. I could not, I packed very well, but somehow it fell in the car. I could not bring like that. He answered. Then Prabhupada became silent and he told, bring me whatever is there. If the prasadam you fell, then take something, on top, which could not touch the ground. Bring that and give it to me like the Prabhupada said. And then, the devotee brought it and, gave to Prabhupada and he ate. And this was told to the temple president, and temple president even more become upset. But, to his spiritual master, he could not arrange proper prasadam. And in the evening, when he went to Prabhupada to meet and apologize for, unorganized way, how they have managed everything, then he saw Prabhupada. Prabhupada was laughing and conversing with other devotees. And when he faced this, temple president who took sannyasi initiation, Prabhupada asked, "What happened? How did you? What happened? What made you to come here?" Like that, Prabhupada started talking very, very casually, as if nothing went wrong. And this devotee, uh, he then, he became calm and he told Prabhupada, it's my mistake that, I was unable to arrange things properly. I thought that it will make you anger. Prabhupada said, that's done, right? We don't, yes, we agree that things could not happen properly. Things were not organized properly. Let's leave it to Krishna. Maybe it's his plan. Why do we have to dwell in that? So now let's plan for the next, future plans, what we have to, how we have to manage the temple. So let's plan for a better, feast or better festival next time, like that. Prabhupada took very casual and, he spoke to the devotee. Then, the devotees understood that, see, for time being, sometimes we may get into anger. We may have to show anger to fix the situation. That's all. After that, we should not carry that. So in Sanskrit, there is a wonderful saying that is, Uttame kshanakopasya madhyame jitikadvayam mandascha ahoratram papishtantu maranantaram. It is said. So the meaning of this verse is, those who are situated in a higher platform, their anger will be there for a minute or two. After that, it disappears. And those who are little less intelligent, their anger will be there for an hour or 2 hours. And those who are even more little, ignorant, okay, so they may dwell in anger for a whole night or a day. And those who are gone cases, completely ignorant, moodas, Tamasin Guna people, their anger will live with them for lifelong, which will help them to take births even more, and which will help them to even get degraded into the animal forms of life, because animals don't have any proper way. If they get anger, they show. If they lust, they show. They will get it fulfilled then and there itself. Similar, no rules applies to animals. Hence, this person who was carrying some enmity towards others, so he will get eligibility to become animal, because animals can fulfill their lust, anger anytime, at any point of time. That's how, they get degraded. So we have to situate in a very higher platform where our anger should help to fix things, not to break things. Okay, so that's what Krishna wanted to convey us. Okay, so that's all. I want to stop here regarding these two particular slokas. So if anybody has any doubts, you can ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
I have one small doubt. Like Bhima, he had so much of anger. Like till the end of this Mahabharata war, he was full of anger.
Okay.
So, okay. So, how do you say that? Didn't he have that Sthita Pragya or whatever it means, whatever may be the way it was explained to Arjuna to
Mhm.
control his anger
Mhm.
and to be composed and think. But Bhima had that anger till the end. That is my question.
Right. Okay. So the reason why Bhima had to carry the anger till end of the war, even after the war also, even after the war was completed, everything was done, but Duryodhana was still alive. The Bhima had to fight with Duryodhana, and he had to break his ties and kill Duryodhana. Okay, so the reasons why Bhima had to had anger is because, see, when Mother Draupadi was getting disrobed, okay, uh, first thing, she was his wife. Second thing, the basic common thing is she's a woman. A woman cannot be disrobed in a public place. That's a very, very insane thing, brutal thing, we can say. Okay. And that made Bhima to, show his anger. In that anger, he took promise that he took a vow that he will kill Dushasana. And when the Draupadi was present in the arena, Duryodhan, he slapped on his thighs and he asked Mother Draupadi to come and sit on his thigh. That's a very, very humiliation thing to a woman. That should not be done in a public place. Okay, so Bhima wanted to fix things by showing his anger. And if under any circumstances, these people, if they would have changed and if they would have regretted for their mistakes, Bhima would have not, there wouldn't have been a chance for Bhima to show his anger. His anger was required to, even after, he ferociously, taken vows that he will kill Dushasan and Duryodhan. Okay, and this Dushasan, Duryodhan, they already know that they are doing, they are acting according, they are not acting according to the Shastras. And they should have understood the Bhima's anger of correcting them. If they would have understood, then Bhima wouldn't had to take anger.
Okay.
Did it continue?
That means for dharma, for organizing dharma, we can show the
Yes.
anger.
Absolutely correct, Mataji. That's what I was telling. To fix things, we have to adopt, we have to act anger. Once the things are fixed, live. Just come out of that anger. You should not carry, you will see some people, they will have, and they will develop that enmity towards others. They will continue for entire life. That should not be done. Like Duryodhan, the why the Duryodhan developed that kind of envy towards Pandavas is that once Yudhishthira Maharaj, first time when he was awarded the kingdom, when he was made the emperor of the kingdom, he organized a Rajasuya Yaga. And to that Rajasuya Yaga, many supporting kings, they came and they gifted Yudhishthira Maharaj in such a way that a very costly gifts they gifted. And Duryodhan was given a service to that time. All were they had little bit mutual understanding, and that time Duryodhan was given a service to accept the gifts of the supporting kings which were gifted to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And looking at the gifts, Duryodhana could not control his enemy. He was not happy that they were the supporting kings. gifting Yudhishthira Maharaj with such costly gifts. From then onwards, Duryodhana started developing envy. That means that, he falls under the papisti category who carries the, hatred, the anger for lifetime. And he should be definitely punished. And eventually, in the next chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, in the 18th chapter, Krishna even tells more secrets, of handling things. Though being anger, but not getting binded by karma. How this can be done in future chapters of Bhagavad Gita, you will learn. You will really enjoy that when you go through sloka by sloka. Okay, so for now, to correct the things, Krishna at the same time wanted Arjuna and other Pandavas to, since he was speaking to Arjuna, so Krishna wanted Arjuna to adopt anger for some time to fix the thing. Then after he wanted Krishna wanted Arjuna to understand that anger will not help for uh, you further. Okay. So,
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
welcome, Madhavi. Any other questions? Okay. So we have His Grace Venkatesh Sri Govinda Das Prabhu in the class. We request him to please share his comments, share his inputs. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Venkatesh Sri Govinda Das Prabhu, are you there?
Prabhu, I just logged in now. I don't know what was the topic also, but nice. It was a nice topic that you're speaking. You can hear me, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
You can hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can hear you, Prabhu.
Huh. I just logged in now. I don't know because what was the topic you were talking, Prabhu?
Yeah, we were discussing about Dhyayato Vishyan Pumsa Sangasteshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kamat Krodho Vijayate Krodat Bhavati Sammoha Sammohat Smriti Vibrama Smriti Bramshat Buddhinasho. These two slokas we were discussing about.
Anger management.
Yeah, anger management.
Anger management is the prime necessity in this Kali Yuga.
We would request you to share your comments on anger management, bro.
Yeah. Yes, Hare Krishna, Matajis and Prabhujis. Welcome to Bhakti Yoga at Home. So, how many of you are liking this program?
All Prabhu.
Okay, very nice. So, how many of you have anger issues? You can raise your hand. There's nothing to hide here because everyone has that quality of getting angry. So, nothing, nothing to actually feel bad about it. So, anger is one of the commonest emotions that we face. So, does anybody have anything called as an anger issues anywhere? Is there anyone having that? Can hear me? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you.
Right from yeah, who has raised? Oh, so many hands have raised. Seema Thakur, I don't think so. You will have any anger issues at all with you, but still, if you say that you have anger issues, then that must be modified very well. But okay, so we'll just come with Priyanka. What do you do? Why do you get angry? When do you get angry? Why do you get angry? What do you do when you get angry? three things in short terms. You can just tell me that. Everyone who has raised your hands. When do you get angry? Priyanka, you can hear me?
Yes,
You have
Hare
given
Krishna
options.
Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yes. So in short, what what makes you get angry? How do you manage your anger?
When like what I think it should happen when it goes opposed to that, I get angry. And to control my anger, I just go silent. I mean, I don't talk to anyone or anything. Just be silent. Prabhuji, I can't hear you.
Yeah. I just got a call. No, continue. Now you can hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can hear you.
Okay. What makes you, how do you manage your anger?
I just go silent. I mean, I don't prefer talking to anyone or be with someone. I just be silent and alone to control or manage
Okay.
my anger, I would say.
Okay. Good. Okay. Seema Thakur, Mataji, Hare Krishna, how do you manage your anger, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Pranam.
I am not able to manage Prabhu. I'm still under the process of managing. Not yet
Okay.
needed yet.
Okay. So what makes you get angry?
Provoking. They
So
provoke me
somebody
sometimes.
provokes you, you get.
Yes, and
Okay.
they will not understand to the point which I am trying to explain. They take it in another way. At the time of trying
Okay.
to explain them, I may get angry at the time. Not angry, we can say it's kind of irritation. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So just that, how long does it stay?
Take about what, Prabhu? To get to normalize or what?
Yes.
To normalize, yeah, I try to get normalized within some time because prolonging that won't take, prolonging will take much of my energy and waste of time. So I just cut off in
Correct.
short.
Okay. So after coming to Krishna consciousness, your anger, everything has reduced.
I haven't calculated in that way because situations differs every day. It differs. Sometimes at situation I can't control my anger, so I don't know.
So basically, it's just the practical application of whatever is being read. You just start applying it practically. That's all.
Yes,
This is the theoretical ones.
I
Then you
wanted to
start.
do,
You
but
start.
sometimes the things are not in our control. So in that way.
Okay. So each one small steps. Not that nobody can become anger management experts in one day. One small steps. It will definitely help.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll try my best. Thank you.
Yes, Bharat Bhushan Prabhu. When things don't go your way, that you want to get angry. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu, you're there? Bharat Bhushan. Okay. Krishna Rao Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I don't think that you get angry because I see your most peaceful face that is there. I don't think that you have anger.
No, Prabhuji. I have not opened my. You can't see my face. Now you can see my face.
Fine.
Yes, Prabhuji. Anger means it automatically comes. I don't know when it comes. Suddenly it comes, erupts. So I want this. Though I know we should not get angry, But the situations when they don't listen in our house, what we tell, then they oppose. They don't come to my viewpoint. Then suddenly it comes. I'm not able to check it. Though I know that in Krishna concept, when you come, you have to control your anger. But that is not getting. I'm not able to control when it comes. I get angry. And after some time, slowly subsides, and I keep a look. Then okay, it's so again normal life comes. That the spurt of moment I am not able. That I want to check. The spurt of moment when anger comes, I have to check. That I am not able to do it. In the spurt of the moment when it comes, that point only if I check, then everything will be solved. But that only I am not able to do it.
What about you?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. Yes, I do get anger, and when somebody tells lies or argues for wrong things, I get anger. And sometimes when near and dear ones tell lies, that angers me. Outside people, if they tell or argue, I just leave it, because they are not going to stay with me for a long time. But when some close relatives or somebody close does the thing, then I get anger, and it lingers for some time, like for some time. And if it hurts me like anything, then it stays in my heart for many more days, like you can say for a month, like that. It goes
Okay.
on torturing me.
ఇచ్చారు కదా ఓకే ఎస్ మాతాజీ హరే కృష్ణ you can
Hare
hear me?
Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So all those things, you just made a note of all those things. So best thing is make a note of it and then see that how you are improving day by day and how your anger management would be increased. How you are going to improve your anger, because basic thing is you can read so many quotes of Prabhupada's anger management in his Vani quotes. You start reading, automatically your anger that is there, it will start coming down. Or maybe the intensity will start coming down. It is not that anger will not, we don't get angry. It is not that we don't get angry. It is there. But only one thing is, what is the effect? What is the ill effect of all those anger things? How it affects you? So you start modifying your thoughts, thinking, processes, everything else. Then life becomes easier. Just make your life much more easier. Don't complicate it. That's all. Okay, Mataji. So just put this verse into practical application. We'll discuss about this next tomorrow. We'll discuss some more points on this tomorrow. Is that okay?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Yeah. So just put it in practice. That's it. Okay. So Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining. Hare Krishna. And hello. ఇంకా ఉన్నా నేను ఇంకా క్లినిక్ నేను ఇంకో చిన్నది సర్వేషన్స్ ఇష్టపడి తీయాలి రావాలి పక్కన ఎక్కడైనా ఉంటే తీసేసుకో.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Mathurajis and Prabhujis. Okay, Prabhu, I just got a small operation to do. I'll do that.
Oh, okay. Take care. Carry on, bro. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for giving this small opportunity. Thank you.